class. My name is Miss Dionicio. Today we will be talking about schema, which I know sounds like a funny word, but it is actually something that good readers use to help them understand what they are reading. Schema is thinking about what you already know, so when I'm using my schema when reading, I'm thinking about my own experiences or things I already know and connecting that thinking to what I'm reading to help me better understand. Using your schema helps you understand and think about new reading so that you can relate better to the text that you are reading. Today I'm going to talk about how I can use my own schema to make connections from what I'm reading to myself. Now I'm going to show you how my own thinking aloud process goes. And I want you to listen for certain phrases. I'm going to read a book to you, read certain passages, and then you're going to hear what's actually going on in my head, and it's going to be kind of like an inner conversation that's happening, okay? So today we're going to read Three's a Crowd. Our author is Gwendolyn Hooks, and our illustrator is Sylvia Walker. Now, judging from that title, Three's a Crowd, and looking at this little girl right up front who has her arms crossed and has kind of a nasty look on her face, I'm thinking that this book might be about three friends. One of them doesn't seem like she's getting along with the other two. Let's find out what happens. It was Saturday. Keisha always met Val in the park on Saturdays. They rode their bikes and had adventures together, just the two of them. And when I look at this picture right here of this red bike, it actually reminds me of when I was a little girl. I had a red bike just like that. It was a 12-speed. And in fact, I used to ride around on my bike with my girlfriends in my old neighborhood many afternoons. In fact, our favorite place to ride our bike was right on the tennis courts because it was smooth and flat and we could go really fast. So I can relate to Keisha and her friends in that sense because I used to do the same thing when I was a little girl. Let's continue. This Saturday, Keisha got a big surprise. Val had brought another girl along. "Hey Keisha, this is Maya," said Val. "Her family just moved to my street." Keisha's heart sank. She did not want a new girl riding with them. 3 was not a fun number. It was an odd number. There was always one left over. Now Keisha's heart sinking here. I feel like I was in a situation like that too when I was younger. I had my best friend, Nora Tabori, and in fact, you probably can't see, but these two girls have these best friend necklaces on, and me and my friend Nora, we also had best friend lockets at the time. She kept one half of the locket, one half of the heart, and I kept the other half of the heart. And I remember when there was a new girl who moved into town, right onto Nora's street, she started riding bikes with us too and playing games with us as well. And I remember feeling a little bit jealous, and that's what I'm thinking that Keisha might be feeling at the moment. So let's continue and see what happens. Maya smiled, but Keisha turned and walked to the pond. "The ducks look hungry," Keisha told Val. "Did you bring bread?" "Sure, I have enough for all of us," said Val. "The ducks won't take breadcrumbs from you," Keisha said to Maya. "They don't know you." "Here, try it, Maya," said Val. Well, first of all, from reading that, I already know that the ducks are going to eat the bread from whoever throws it into the pond. The ducks will eat anything from anybody. But secondly, I'm starting to think that Maya might feel a little bit sad. I know that if Keisha or one of my friends said that to me, trying to make me kind of feel left out, it would make me feel really sad. I wouldn't like that feeling at all. So let's continue and see what happens. Maya tossed bread into the water. Quack, quack, quack. The ducks flapped their wings. They paddled to Maya, ate her crumbs, and quacked for more. Exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. Maya laughed. She tossed more crumbs into the water. Keisha stuffed her bread into her pocket. She did not want to feed the ducks any more. Keisha's being kind of a poor sport. I wish that, I don't know, I wish she could get along with her two friends. Now I'm not going to read the whole book, but I'm going to skip right to the end, and I just want to see what exactly happens to these 3 new friends. Keisha felt silly. She got up, laughing. She brushed the dirt off of her clothes. Val and Maya laughed too. "Are you riding with us next Saturday?" Val asked Maya. Maya looked at Keisha. "Of course she is," said Keisha. "We'll have another adventure, just the three of us." So, although I obviously skipped some events in this book, it looks like that in the end, everything worked out, and all three indeed became best friends. So, anyways, the point that I wanted to make was not to talk about the story Three's a Crowd, but I wanted you to see what it was like, what was going on in my head while I was reading this book out loud. And, you know, those schematic connections are not necessarily going to be the same for you. When you're reading the story, you're going to have your own connections. And the next time that we read, I'm going to read aloud, and I want you to make your own schematic connections, and then you're going to draw on your own piece of paper exactly what you connected with the story the best. And it could be anything. It could be a connection to an experience that you've had in your own life. It could be a connection to something that you've seen before on TV. It could be a connection to something that we've read in the past. But that's what using your schema does, and it helps us to better understand what we read, and it helps us to become a better reader. So I hope that we can use this